Rudy Giuliani was in New Hampshire this weekend, over at Sunday at this big NASCAR event. Part 2 of my interview with the former mayor from New York. Mr. Mayor, this is an odd question, but I think you'll understand it. Is it weird being this liked? Because there were so many times, even though you got elected twice, there were people yelling at you every day.
Well, New York is like that, right? And also I was going against the grain in New York.
Right.
If I had respect, meaning I was a conservative, right, in a city that is extremely liberal. The way I always describe it is, people in New York don't agree with my ideas. They just like the results.
Right.
They love the results. But city becomes safest large city in America, one of the safest cities in America, one of the best examples of welfare to work.
But I watch your press conferences on a daily basis, and you would just come out about informal, and it would be fiery. It would be a give and take, and there would be a lot of sarcasm, and on both sides. Could you dial it back on the federal level and be more so-called politically correct?
You don't have to. You don't have to, because there's a I say this sometimes and people don't understand it. It'll be easier to do the things that I want to do on a federal level than it was in New York City, because there's more support for it. For example, I want to lower taxes.
Right.
I'm not the only president in Washington who wants to lower taxes.
Do you think you could fight terror and not get a new energy policy that gets this country away from the Middle East?
You have to have a new energy policy.
Do you have
My second commitment is energy independence. We outlined it about 2 months ago. It is to support the alternative technologies, also to crack through on nuclear power.
Let me tell you, the average person who's not as into it as you are, and maybe me, will say, I watched the president wearing a hard hat going through the factories. I watched the president and the past presidents say, we're going to change, but nothing happens.
Okay.
When's it going to happen?
This is what I'm good at. I make things happen. This is exactly the same thing that was going on in New York, right? We had mayors before me. They all wanted to reduce crime. They didn't. Mayors before me. They all wanted to reduce welfare. They didn't. Mayors before me who all wanted to reduce spending. They didn't.
Right.
I did all those things. I can get this done. I mean, I have proven that I can get results done that are as big as energy independence or as big as reforming health care. America has to preserve its essentially private health care system. Hillary Care will take us either right to socialized medicine or right in that direction.
Another candidate you have to be worried about or concerned with and definitely analyze is Fred Thompson. In South Carolina, he's taken away or equal with you in that state. Why attack the other side when you should be attacking Thompson? We should be going after Mitt Romney.
Maybe it's the Ronald Reagan lesson. You know, I worked for Ronald Reagan. He probably had the biggest influence on my political career of anyone. Ronald Reagan used to say, the 11th commandment is, don't attack another Republican. So, maybe to defend yourself you have to do it. I hope not. I don't have a big problem with the other Republican candidates. I believe that I'd be the most electable.
My last question to you. Can you be an effective politician and understand to win the Republican nomination that the base of your would-be voters don't agree with you, let's say on immigration and when it comes to pro-life, pro-choice?
I think they do agree with me on immigration. I believe that we should deal with illegal immigration at the border. I think once you let people in, it's very hard to deal with it. So we have to have control of our borders. We have to have a fence. We have to have a technological fence. We have to deploy the Border Patrol within 50 miles of any place on the border. We have to have a border stat program and a tamper-proof ID card. If we do those things, we can secure our borders.
Is it possible to do what Tancredo wants and kick 12 million out that are here already?
I don't think that's the issue. The issue is stopping people from coming in. And then, once you've done that, but only once you've done that, figure out in a sensible way, what are you going to do with the 12 million people that are here? Try to separate.
So 2 phases. You're against comprehensive. Let's do it in stages.
I'm not only against it, it's not feasible. The American people have spoken against it.
Right.
And they're right. We've got to get control of the borders.